My mother called, crying about her overdue electric bill, but I found out she'd been paying my brother's monthly mortgage for 3 years. My mother, Patricia, had perfected the art of the financial emergency call. Every month like clockwork, she'd phone me with some new crisis. The transmission fell out, the roof was leaking, Medicare didn't cover her prescription. Each call ended the same way, me transferring whatever I could spare from my teacher's salary. She'd worked as a bookkeeper for 30 years, had a decent pension, but somehow never had enough. My brother Caleb, he was living the dream in his 4-bedroom colonial with the wraparound porch, regional sales manager at a medical device company, new Audi in the driveway. But according to Mom, Caleb had his own struggles. "You know your brother works so hard," she'd say. All those responsibilities at his age. That Tuesday started like any other crisis call. I was grading papers at my kitchen table when Mom's ringtone cut through the quiet. The electric company was threatening disconnection. $300 by Friday or they'd shut everything off. "Mom, I just sent you $400 last week for the plumbing." My voice came out tired, defeated. "Things just keep breaking, honey. You know how old this house is." I stared at my bank balance. $1,200 until payday. Rent was due Monday. But what was I supposed to do? Let my mother sit in the dark? I can send $200. That's all I have. She sighed that specific sigh that made me feel like a terrible daughter. I suppose I could ask Mrs. Henderson next door. Maybe she could loan me the rest. "No, Mom. I'll figure it out. I'll send the $300. After I hung up, I called my brother. Maybe this time he'd help. The phone rang 4 times before Caleb picked up. "Hey, what's up?" He sounded distracted. I could hear his kids playing in the background. "Mom needs help with her electric bill." He groaned. "Not this again. Look, I've got my own bills. The mortgage alone is killing me. Property taxes just went up. Emma's orthodontist wants another deposit. It's $300, Caleb. I don't have it. Why don't you handle it? You always do anyway." Thursday morning changed everything. I was at school during my planning period when I got a call from an unknown number. My mother had collapsed at the grocery store. Nothing serious, just dehydration and stress. But they'd taken her to Riverside General for observation. I rushed to the hospital. Mom was sitting up in bed looking annoyed more than anything else. They were making a fuss over nothing. But the nurse mentioned something that made my stomach drop. "Your brother already handled the insurance paperwork when he stopped by earlier." Caleb had been here? And left? The nurse nodded. "He said he had to get back to work but wanted to make sure her coverage was active." Sweet man. He was asking about payment plans for her deductible. That didn't sound right. Mom had excellent insurance from her old job. I sat with her for an hour until she dozed off, then decided to grab her purse to check if she needed anything from home. Her checkbook fell out. I wasn't snooping. Not really. But the register was right there, open to the current month. The entries made my hands shake. October 2nd, Caleb mortgage, $2,400. September 3rd, Caleb mortgage, $2,400. August 5th, Caleb's mortgage, $2,400. I flipped back. Month after month, going back 3 years, $2,400 every single month. Some months had additional entries. Caleb's car insurance, $180. Caleb's property tax, $800. The room started spinning. I did the math. She'd given him over $90,000. $90,000. While I was eating ramen and working at summer school to cover her fake emergencies, Mom stirred. I held up the checkbook. "How long were you planning to keep this going?" She didn't even try to deny it. "Your brother has a family, a reputation to maintain. His job requires a certain lifestyle. And I don't matter. You're single. You rent. You don't understand the pressure he's under." "The pressure?" I laughed, but it came out like a bark. "I've been skipping meals to pay your fake bills. I haven't been to a dentist in 2 years. I drove a 17-year-old car because I thought you were struggling." Patricia's eyes hardened. "Caleb needs stability for his children, for their future." "What about my future? You're a teacher. You'll never make real money anyway." I left the hospital without saying goodbye. Haven't answered her calls since. Last I heard from my cousin, my mom had to ask Caleb to cover her actual electric bill this month. He told her he couldn't afford it. Funny how that works.